Hey everybody, welcome back for another memory keeping video. So this is for the week of May 26th through June 1st. So we are finally in the summer weeks. So we are recording the weeks that correspond with the season that I'm currently in. That's super exciting. So I wanted to use this gorgeous, gorgeous kit from Apple Blossom Prints with painted lilacs art for the close of Asian American Pacific Islander Native Hawaiian month. So happy month. How do I say that? Happy time to my fellow Asian Americans. I am mixed. I am 3/4 white, a quarter Filipino. That's where I fit into the community. My experiences are a bit complex. I pass for white a lot of the time. And then at the same time, I grew up in a very white area where people said weird things to me. So, you know, it's complicated, and I feel like growing up I didn't know a lot of people like me. It's becoming a lot more common interracial relationships with people my age, like a millennial generation, but for me growing up and my parents' generation especially, not so common. So we do not have time in a 15-minute video to get into all of my feelings about that. But I guess I would just say, if you are in an interracial relationship, especially if you end up having children in that relationship, just be mindful of some of the issues that can arise and be mindful about how you talk to your kids too. And if you're not in an interracial relationship and you're not raising interracial born children, teach them that not everybody's like them. Wow, I didn't mean to get on a soapbox this quickly, but I don't know. It's really complicated feelings that I have, and I always feel like when it comes to inclusion, I don't really know where I belong sometimes. Even though I am very comfortably middle class, so there's that. I enjoy a lot of privileges with that. But yeah, now I don't know how to close this thought. Sorry about that. I shouldn't have started something that I don't know how to finish, but now I'm suddenly a little bit sad, but also proud of who I am. I don't know. I think about this sometimes, especially because so my husband and I both definitely pass for white in a lot of situations, but we are technically an interracial relationship as well, with him adding the Mexican American experience. So if we did have biological children, they'd be even more mixed, which I think is a great part of being American. But then some people outright think that's not okay, which honestly, I'm not even talking to those people. And then other people just make it weird. Like, it's a lot, microaggressions would definitely be the term for a lot of what I've experienced. It's like, it's not the worst, but it's not good either. You know what I mean? I'm gonna listen to this back in 15 minutes and be like, this is so fun to edit. Anyway, love this art, love this kit. It's very sad to me that Apple Blossom Prints closed their shop. I believe this was painted lilacs art, and I don't think that person draws art anymore. I wasn't able to find their Instagram page. Did that person change their name? Like, is there another place I can go follow them? I lost track. Let me know if you know. But yeah, I absolutely love this kit. I had a hard time choosing full boxes because I had to narrow it down. And I picked the ones that I liked best. It's not that I didn't like the museum scene, it's just I didn't have any place to put it. So I decided to save that. There was not a bad full box in this whole kit. So that was great. I love, love, love that like teak wood elephant in the upper left-hand corner. Gorgeous. Love it. I originally planned to use this kit because we were going to go to the Filipino Fiesta in Sacramento, which is an annual event held here in the city, in like the southern part of the city though. And that was part of the reason we didn't go this year, is that we got our first heat wave of the year. It was over 100 degrees this weekend, and that's very normal for our part of the world, but it did mean I didn't really want to go to the festival just because it's in a part of town that has like no shade and stays very hot just because of how that part of town is. So we didn't go this year. We went last year. It was a lot of fun. There's always good food trucks available. There's always lots of singing and dancing just from like local community groups, which is fantastic. I was talking with my husband, I think it was last night. I was like, I know that like karaoke is technically a Japanese thing, but I feel like Filipinos like take it to the next level, which is a lot of fun. I am very shy about singing and dancing in public, so I don't partake in that as much, but I enjoy watching other people belt their hearts out, you know. Absolutely loved the clip art for the deco part of this. Decided to color block because I love a bright, bold color scheme. And I thought it was a great way to kick off the summer. This was the week of Memorial Day. I wasn't done with work yet. I still had to finish grading, but I do feel like Memorial Day is our true start to summer. Sometimes it rains here Memorial Day weekend. It hasn't done that the last couple of years that I've been back living in Sacramento. So sometimes we get a rainy Memorial Day weekend. This year we did not. It was very like summer weather. So I do feel like our summer starts, even weather-wise, at Memorial Day, and then kind of goes until the middle of October, if not even all the way till Halloween. It really depends on the year. So I do feel like we technically have 4 seasons in Sacramento. It's just they're protracted. Like summer is definitely the longest season, and then the other seasons are just shorter. Like our winter is quite short. We get what I consider winter weather. Obviously, it's not as extreme as some places, but it's very much winter. But that's like December, January, and then spring I feel is like February to May, and then summer's the rest of the year. And when's autumn, you ask? Great question. I think autumn is just the month of November. That's about it, if even that. Aren't you glad you asked? I'm in a weird mood today. I'm really sorry. So I'm just adjusting my deco here. I have no idea if I've made any sense this whole video so far. I just feel like I turned on a microphone and started ranting and raving. I pulled in a leftover header from an old kit to mark this week's dinners, and then I have a half box at the bottom of the day that I'm going to use to mark Pride Month starting. I know only one day out of this week was technically Pride Month, but I didn't know if I was going to have space to mark it in the coming weeks, so I just decided to mark it this week. So this little heart, this Progress Pride flag heart, is from Planner Face. I don't know if they sell that sticker. It came on a freebie recently, but you can check. I tried to check. I didn't find it in their shop. If you do want Progress Pride flags, Corks and Cord Co. does have them. So if you want to buy some stickers like that, that's a good place to look for that. Monday, the first thing I marked was Memorial Day. That little lemon wedge is from the Planner Face freebie, and then I was editing videos. I did take this day off because I don't get paid holidays with my current job, so I'm not gonna work on them. So I was editing videos. That's from Beneva Creations. I did some reading. That's a really old sticker from Oh Hello. And then my husband grilled this evening, so we got like a small rack of ribs, made mashed potatoes and a salad, and that was our Memorial Day barbecue. So I have a Sweet Ava's Paper grill sticker for that. There was a new Mike Birbiglia comedy special out this night, so that is from Beneva Creations. It wasn't my favorite out of all of his specials, but it was new, and our Netflix subscription, we ended it at the end of this week, so I was just trying to use as much of my Netflix as possible before it got canceled. And then I watched more Bones, so that is from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. at the end of Monday. Tuesday, I was so tired, so I used this Is Fine sticker from Sweet Ava's Paper. I did a workout, that's from Cinderella Paper, and then I graded a bunch of final projects for my freshman level class. I forget exactly how many students I ended the semester with. I think it was less than 20 in that class. That class has a lot of a pretty high drop rate, unfortunately, at that specific college. So I only had like 12 final projects to grade, which was a bit concerning. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make them drink, is that type of situation. Like I'll have students go with me to the very end of the semester and then just not turn in the final project. And I'm like, why? I don't know what to do about that. I try. I did work outside a bit this day. So that lounge chair is from Planner Face. Like I just took my laptop outside while I was grading. So that was actually pretty nice. And then my husband was cranky about something, not going to get into that. It wasn't towards me, it was just towards a situation. And then I watched more Bones and played with the cats. So all of those stickers are from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. Wednesday, the first thing I marked was working out again. And then this is the day I finished grading, which was very exciting. So compared to my freshman class, I ended the semester in my like sophomore level class. We don't really have freshman, sophomore at community college, but you know what I mean, with a lot more students. And so I had like almost 20 research papers to grade this day. So got those done. I played hide and seek with Clover, and then I submitted grades. So that cute file folder sticker is from Sweet Eva's paper. So that I was done with the semester finally. And then this was the Everybody's Live with John Mulaney finale night, which was ridiculous and also so funny at the same time. So I marked that with a Beneva Creations girl. And then I finished season 11 of Bones, which meant I only had season 12 left. And I had no idea there were only like a dozen episodes in season 12. Which, like with streaming now, that's a typical season. You only get like 10 to 12 episodes. But this was a network show back in the day. And so most of the seasons had like 20 plus episodes. So I was like, what do you mean? We're almost done. Thursday, I marked my husband working from home. That's from Sweet Eva's paper. I marked putting my vacation email automatic message up because that's something a lot of us do during the summers because a lot of us are not employed during the summer. Then I washed the sheets. That's from Beneva Creations. I read my book. And then I vented to my husband about my fears about my doctor's appointment the next day. So I just have this anxiety cat from Sweet Eva's paper. I tried to comfort myself by giving myself a pedicure. I believe that's from Linner Designs, from an old kit. And then I watched more Bones. Friday, again, I marked that my husband worked from home, and I had a doctor's appointment that I was very nervous about. Nothing's wrong. Like, don't worry about me. I'm going to be here for a while on this planet, I think. At least there was nothing about that worried me about this appointment. I'm just trying to get some issues resolved that have been bothering me for a while, so not going to get into it, but yeah, I was nervous. I nearly like panicked walking into the office, and then afterwards I just had such a sense of relief because the doctor was really nice and really sensitive to my concerns, and so we made a plan for what we're going to try and do about it. So I marked that with a Sweet Eva's paper doctor sticker. I marked that it was the first 100-degree day of 2025 with another Sweet Eva's paper pumpkin cat. I read more of my book. That's from Corks and Corgs Co. And then we went out to one of our favorite sushi restaurants this night. So that's where this kit kind of comes into play, is being connected to the week. But we got poke salads and then like tempura veggies, and because we just weren't feeling like sushi necessarily. So that's why I put the sushi box on Friday, even though we didn't get sushi. This place is pretty well known for its sushi. It's only been open for like a year. It's good. If you're in Sacramento for some reason, I don't know who comes to Sacramento, even though we are the capital of California. So we get some business. But Tokyo Table in, I think it's technically Tahoe Park, is a really great restaurant. So also I wanted to use a Wonton in a Million sticker to have one of the Asian American shops represented here. I don't have a whole lot of munchkins left right now from Once More with Love, although she's Canadian, so anyway. But Wonton in a Million is I think they still sell stickers. She shells by the seashore. Anyway. Then I watched more Bones, so that is from Sweet Eva's paper. I am definitely embarrassing myself a lot in this plan with me. I'm very silly today. Sorry. Saturday, I got to use one of my summer planning stickers from Sweet Eva's paper. So the cat planning has a little popsicle and a piece of watermelon, and the sticker sheets have like pineapples and watermelon on them, which is really cute because I was filming some videos. I had some paperwork to do, so that's also from Sweet Eva's paper, and then I closed the May budget, and after that I was exhausted after doing a bunch of financial stuff. So those are both from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then the D20 is from Carly Plans. That's to mark that they finally announced when they're going to give us the 5th season of Stranger Things. We've only been waiting for a million years, so I'm excited about that. And then this is the night that I finished the series finale of Bones, and I was really happy with how they ended it. I was kind of nervous. I'm like, I don't know, there's a lot of series finales that don't go well, but I thought they closed things off really nicely. I also thought somebody was going to die who didn't end up dying, so it was a massive relief when they didn't kill that character off, because for some reason I thought I had read that somewhere. Thank God they didn't kill him off. Anyway, that is from Beneva Creations. Sunday, I listened to the Boneheads podcast. I finished up the June budget. I edited videos. I put away the Easter decorations finally. I was anxious because I had some phone calls to make the next day. I don't know why I waved there. We weren't done with the video yet. And then I watched Game Grumps. So the stickers at the bottom of Sunday are all from Sweet Ava's paper. So that is everything written in. I hope you enjoyed. I'm not sure if I'm going to regret saying all the things I said the first 3 minutes of this video, but I've said them. They're there. Have a nice week. Bye.